Hey everyone, welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading. Today is April the 18th, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at SPX. I'm also going to be looking at the upside targets and the downside targets, where I see it going for next week. I'm also going to be looking at our watch list names: Apple, Tesla, NVDA, Facebook, Netflix, Square, and a bunch of other names that I see that are going to the upside heading into next week, and also some targets to the downside as well. Over here, I have a chart of SPX, S&P 500, and as you guys can see here on the 1 hour chart, we were very bullish this week. We did open the week right here at that 4,030 level, and all we did was push up all the way through Friday, closing just below the psychological resistance at 4,200. I have some targets here to the upside above 4,200. I am looking at 4,000, 4,210, 4,220, and 4,230 to the upside. To the downside, if we do push down on weakness, first support line that I'm going to be looking at is 4180, which would be my first confirmation. My second confirmation would be that 4170. As you guys can see here on the 1 hour chart, we did have some strong support here at that 4170, and it's a level that I'm going to be looking at. So that would be my first target if 4180 were to break. My second target would be that 4150, and my third target would be a retest of that 4130 mark, which we did have some price action here, and it was a gap up on Thursday. Okay, that's some targets to the upside and to the downside. I know we are a little overextended. I am going to look over here at the 4 hour chart, and we haven't received a significant pullback in quite a while, so keep that in mind heading into next week. We could definitely see some push down. There has been some news regarding Bitcoin. It did receive a sizable pullback around 10 to 15% before seeing a little bounce. So definitely look at the financial market, the financial index, XLF, to see if there's a pullback there, which can also affect the traditional markets such as S&P 500. So keep that in mind heading into next week. I am going to look at our watch list names, but before we get going, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe as well if you haven't already. If you are looking to trade and be part of our Discord group, head over to thewealthymentor.net and check us out. We offer great service if you're a day trader, or if you're a swing trader, or if you're someone looking to upgrade their education with regards to the stock market. Okay, so that's thewealthymentor.net. All right, guys, so that is SPX on the 4 hour time frame and my views to the upside and to the downside. First name that has caught my eye that I'm going to be looking at next week is Apple, AAPL. Apple has done pretty well since that 120 area, which we're stuck in for quite a while. We are here now pushing at that 135 mark. Going into tomorrow, I am looking at 135 to break, 135.50 for extra confirmation. And if that were to break, I'm looking at that 138 to 140 take profit area. That would be my first area. Above that, I am looking at all-time highs at that 147 area. However, my second target would be that 144 for the target number 2. Target number 3 is all-time highs. Keep in mind, guys, Apple does tend to run with the markets. So if we do see SPX above that $4,200 psychological resistance, definitely look for Apple to touch those all-time highs. Okay. To the downside, if we do open on weakness tomorrow, I have 133 as my first confirmation. Below that, 130 would be my first take profit target. My second take profit target would be that 127.50 mark. If you are a safer trader and you don't want to get caught up into this 135 area, look over the 138 to 140 for an entry. To the downside, if you don't want to get caught up into this area as well, definitely look for short entries below the 127.50 area. Below 127.50, look for 124.5 for target number 1, and target number 2 be 123. I would say if we drop below 4,100 on SPX, definitely look for these targets down here to get hit. Okay, that is Apple, and I am pretty bullish on Apple, and I believe we can definitely touch all-time highs once again if we do see a strong market heading into tomorrow. Another name, NVDA. This is one of those names that I did mention on my Instagram page, the Wealthy Mentor. This is one of those breakouts that I'm going to be looking at above the 650 level. 650, I have targets at 660 and 670. So again, strong market conditions, the semiconductor sector, SMH, look for that. If that is pushing, NVDA is one of the leaders in that sector. So if that sector is doing good, above 650, 660, 670 are targets number 1 and 2. To the downside, I am looking at 630 as my first confirmation. Below 630, 620 would be my first take profit target, and 610. If we do see a sizable pullback, definitely look for 600 to be tested again. We do have some support here. Originally, we tried to break this and got pushed back down. So what was previous resistance now is support. So 600 is a key level for me. It is also a nice round number, psychological resistance. So if we do see a sizable pullback, look at that $600 mark. Another area that I'm going to be looking at as well is that 578 mark, which was an area where we broke out from, right? Big strong candle here on the 4-hour time frame. Look at this volume, guys. This is what you want to see when you confirm a breakout. Big time volume, another one followed by another big volume stick, right? So if we do see a pullback, 600 would be an area to look at, and the next area to look at to see a stop, to where we drop and you can see a bounce potentially, is that 578 mark. All right. So keep those targets to the upside and to the downside in mind. And I am still very bullish on NVIDIA, and I can definitely see this thing running past the 670 mark if we do see a bullish market. Okay. Another name, Tesla. Can't go a week without talking about Tesla. It always provides great volatility to both sides. And last week we did have a nice week, pushing up high as the 780 mark. We did see a little pullback down to the 740 area. Heading into next week, 730 would be my first confirmation. A break below 730, 720, 710, and 700 are areas where I'm going to be taking profits if we do see market weakness. Now, if we do see, a bullish market, look for that 750 market area to break. Above 750, as you guys see, we just have some consolidation here. So I would not necessarily enter at 740. I mean, you can if you are a nice scalper. You want to do a scalp trade to 750. That's fine. But if you are more of a safer trader and you want a better entry, 750 is where to enter at. Above 750, 765, 770, and 780 could be retested once again if 750 were to break. I am going to switch over here on Tesla on the 1-day time frame just to give you guys an outlook. As you guys can see here, we do have all-time highs on 900. Looks like the bounce has been bought right now, and currently we are in that uptrend. If you were trying to draw a trend line, you'd see that here we're creating higher highs. One here, another one here, another one here, and potentially if we do break that 750 mark and head to that 780 retest, look for a potential push almost to all-time highs. Okay, so that is Tesla to the downside and to the upside. Okay. Another name that I'm going to be looking at is Netflix, NFLX. Netflix has received a bullish upgrade heading into tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Personally, I'm looking at that 556, 557 level. Look at this, guys, right here. We could not break resistance. So 556, 557 is a key level for me. However, I would not enter necessarily at that 556, 557 level because we've had many rejections here, which this could have seemed like a breakout, but we closed below that. And keep in mind, these are 4-hour candles, so it requires a lot of patience on your end to not enter in quickly. So if I were to trade this, I'm going to be looking at that 565 level for my entry, 570 as my first take profit, 576 and 582 as my third take profit target. Now to the downside, we do have strong support at that 542 mark. Over here, we got pushed back down, held it, got retested at that 552, got rejected. And again, we're ping-ponging between these two levels here. So right now, my eyes would be on that 542 level just because we couldn't break it here. And also, we've have strong support here as well. This was an area of resistance, which is now support, right? So 542 is a level that I'm going to be looking at. If that were to break short down to the 536 level as my first take profit target, 530 as my second take profit target, and a retest of the 522 area, which was a breakout point right here, to be retested once more, which would be my third take profit target to the downside. So to me, I would stay a little patient on Netflix and to see those key levels break before heading into that trade. Another name that I also discussed on my Instagram post today, if you have missed it, check out the Wealthy Mentor on Instagram, and I have posted top 3 stocks to look for. One was Apple, the next one was NVDA, and the third one that I'm going to be discussing right now is Facebook. Facebook is at all-time highs, or at least near the all-time highs, so it's primed for a breakout. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. As you guys can see here, we are in a bull flag formation, consolidating just below that 316.5, 317 level. So if you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, where do I enter? Look for that 316, 317 level to break with convincing volume. And when I say convincing volume, look at this volume chart right here. This is convincing volume. This is convincing volume. You don't want to be entering on volume like looking like this down here and like this, right? So when you want to see volume like this, you got to look at catalysts, right, to see if the stock itself has been upgraded. Goldman Sachs could upgrade it. It could be anyone that's upgrading it, but look for that. Look for news clips. Look for bullish targets on Facebook. Stuff like that increases volume. And if you do see that, look for that 317 mark to break. 320, my first target to the upside. Take profit. My second take profit would be that 324 area, and my third take profit would be that 330 area, which I will draw a line of resistance right now. Okay, guys, so those are 3 areas that I'm going to be looking at to the upside on Facebook above that 317 level. To the downside, if things don't go as planned, we also have support here at that 302 mark. This would be my first confirmation, not my entry point. My first confirmation, if that were to break, my second confirmation would be that 298, 297 level. If that were to break, look down for shorts to take profit at that 291 level. And your second take profit joint area would be that 287, 288. And your third take profit would be a retest of these 282 to 279. Right here, we did have some support before breaking up and going to all-time highs. So look for this area to be retested again if we do see market weakness. Okay, so that is Facebook on the 4-hour time frame. Another name I want to look at is Square. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, Bitcoin has been under attack, and Square is one of those names that tend to ride with Bitcoin. So here is Square on the 4-hour time frame. We did have a bullish week, pushing all the way up to the 275 level before receiving a pullback on Friday down to the 255 level. Heading into next week, I am looking at that 265 to break. Above 265, I am looking at targets of 274 as my first take profit area, and my second take profit would be that 280, and my third, the 285 retest. To the downside, if we are heading down lower, and it looks like we are, I am looking at, sorry, let me just delete this line right here. Okay. As I was saying, I am looking at that 265 level to the upside. Now, to the downside, if we continue this downtrend, I am looking at this 250 level as my first entry to the downside. However, we do have support here at that 250 level back on March the 16th. So definitely look for a bounce at that level. If we do not receive a bounce, I would look for a short position down to the 245 level and potentially all the way to 237, where we did see the breakout here happening. Okay, so that is square to the downside. And keep in mind, guys, names like this are correlated to Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin is having a little bit of drama with regards to, Turkey banning it, along with financial institutions, with regarding money laundering. So there is some bearish news out there. However, as I mentioned to some group members, Bitcoin has grown up, as you can say, over the years, where these bullish headlines don't affect it so much. And also there are more investors in there where the price is not going to drop from, let's say, 60,000 all the way to 30,000. There's going to be more resistance, and there's also people supporting it much more. However, these bearish headlines can affect the markets. So one of the names that could see a sizable pullback if Bitcoin were to pull back is Square. So keep in mind Square tomorrow when the market opens and all throughout the week. Okay. Another name that I wanted to mention that's part of our swing trading watch list. Now, guys, if you're not a day trader and if you don't have time to be looking at the screens all the time, we do offer swing trading names. And one of those names, again, that's correlated to Bitcoin is Mara, and that ticker is MARA. Here is Mara on the 4-hour time frame. And these are one of these names that is correlated to Bitcoin. Not so much recently. However, if Bitcoin rises and also SP 500 rises, definitely look for Mara to push up as well. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. We did close Friday's session just above the 3750 resistant support. Heading into tomorrow, I am looking at that first confirmation of 41 to break. 41 to break, 4650 would be a good take profit area. Second take profit would be that $50 mark to the $52 mark. A better entry would be over the $47 area. That way this isn't a fake out, it's for real. 46 above that, look for 52, 50 to 52 as your first take profit, and your second take profit, look for that $55 area, which we did have a hard time breaking here back on April the 12th. Okay, Mara, if we do see continued weakness in Bitcoin and the markets, look for that $37 area to break. Below that, I am looking at shorts down to the 32.50 as my first take profit. And my second take profit would be that 28.28 level, which we did have support here back on the 25th of March, over here on the 8th of March, and over here on the February 26th, 2021. Okay, so a lot of support here on Mara, and it could definitely lead to a great buying opportunity. Okay, another name that's closely correlated to Bitcoin, RIOT, RIOT. Similar to Mara, a lot of weakness on this name. We were pretty bullish here, going up to that $62 level, and the past few days and to the end of the week, we did see a lot of sell volume. As you guys can see here, volume is very high, and there was follow through as well. Going into next week, I am looking at that $40 level as support. If that were to break, 36 would be your first take profit area. Your next take profit area would be that $30 mark. To the upside, my first confirmation would be that 48.50 mark. My first take profit area would be that 54, and 62 would be another take profit area, target number 2, to retest these highs that we had here last week at the beginning of the week. Okay, so that is RIOT on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, another name that is significant to me, ROKU, ROKU, another name that is nearing all-time highs and actually it's not nearing all-time highs. However, we did have a strong push from that $300 area all the way basically to almost $400. Heading into next week, 380 would be my first confirmation. 384 would be my second confirmation. Above 384, I would look to enter a bullish trade to the upside, calls if you are trading contracts, options. your first take profit would be the 395 area. I would close my position at 395 unless we do see, a strong volume and a catalyst. And the reason why I would close it and not let it run is because we do have some resistance up here, and this was pretty significant. These are 4-hour candles, and we did get pushed back down. Tried to push back up and retest this, and the bounce wasn't even that strong. So if for some reason we do get to that 395 area, guys, please take profits. If we break that, you can always re-enter and take profits at 405 and 410. Okay. To the downside, if we do see that 274 area break, that would be your first confirmation. Your second confirmation would be 370. If 370 were to break, your take profit to the downside, if you're shorting, would be 364 and 360. 360 gives out, you're looking at 350 retest, okay, which was a big candlestick here, and it led us to this breakout, going basically to almost $400. Okay, so that is ROKU on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that I want to look at that did see some significant weakness was NIO, N-I-O. NIO has been range bound, but range bound from that $42, $43 area down to that $36 area. Here we are on NIO again on the 4-hour time frame, and it doesn't look good. To me, it's looking bearish. So we have that strong support at that 35, 50, 36 area. If that were to break, I am looking at shorts down to the 32 as my first take profit target, and my second take profit would be that $30 area to the downside. Now to the upside, I would not enter any trades on NIO until I see $40.50 break. That would be my first confirmation. My next confirmation and entry point would be above the $43 area for a push to the $46 and $47 area as your take profit targets. I am going to switch quickly here to the 1-day chart. Okay. And as you guys can see here, we did have all-time highs, 67, and ever since then, we've been in a downfall. So if that 36 can't hold, definitely look for these areas to be filled once again. Also could be leading to oversold conditions on the higher time frames on the RSI on the daily time frame. So keep that in mind. It could lead to a great buying opportunity on NIO. And, NIO is a great name, another EV name. So also look for Tesla if there's correlations. If Tesla moves, look for NIO to also pop on those news headlines as well. All right, guys, those are the names that I'm discussing for next week. I am going to be looking at all those names, especially Apple, especially NVDA, especially Tesla, and Facebook, which is nearing all-time highs above that 317 level. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you are looking for a trading group, if you are looking for a day trading group, an options trading group, a swing trading group, where we give out economical information, where we give out market analysis every single day, where we update our watch list every single day, where we have Benzinga Squawk with live breaking news, where we have current events with catalysts that you should be looking at every single day. We have a bunch of other things that can help you in your trading journey. So if you're interested into that, just head over to thewealthymentor.net and give us a look and see if you like anything. And if you're not sure, head over to our Instagram page, the Wealthy Mentor, and take a look. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.